This demonstration, introduced in December 2024, marks a significant advancement in renewable energy applications for military operations and represents the Army's first operational nanogrid of this type. Again, I highly doubt they have never had this stuff before, but this is just like all coming into public. For some reason, probably China, we're having to like release all of this stuff. And it seems like China's so far ahead that they're forcing us to release everything. I've asked this before, but you know, how much stuff in the back room do we have? How many different layers of cat and mouse do we have prepared before we run out of what's in the back room? So I don't know, and what happens when we do? Are they gonna just end the world at that point? Just go nuclear when they don't have any more cards to play? I hope not, but it seemed like the bunch of documents came out with the Biden administration said that they're preparing for nuclear war and that they think that they can actually win it. And by they, I mean it's the military-industrial complex, not necessarily any administration. And they handed that off to Trump. So thanks, Biden. Appreciate that one. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully somebody can get in his ear and tell him to behave. But a nanogrid is a compact, self-sufficient electrical power system that functions independently from the traditional power grid. It has the ability to provide energy, enhances resilience against potential power disruptions, particularly in remote locations where grid access is unavailable, maybe underneath the ocean or in the air or Africa or a storm or underground. Something like that, or outer space, the moon. Hydrogen nanogrid. The nanogrid at WSMR utilizes renewable hydrogen fuel, replacing conventional diesel generators that are often bulky and noisy. The innovative setup powers essential equipment, including surveillance cameras and meteorological instruments, ensuring 24/7 operations in remote settings where silent, unobtrusive power generation is crucial. This project offers an exciting demonstration of the Army's very first renewable energy nanogrid, expressed Carol J. Bailey, the project managers from ERDC's Construction Energy Research Laboratory. The hydrogen-powered system delivers a carbon-free alternative that is both sustainable and effective, particularly suited for operations in extreme weather and sensitive cultural areas like WSMR, White Sands Missile Range. Is a crucial testing ground for various military and civilian technologies, from missile testing to scientific research, while preserving numerous historical and environmental sites. The new nanogrid, developed by Sesame Solar of Jackson, Michigan, encapsulates several advanced energy technologies within a mobile Connex box. I'll say super quickly, just because I'm trying to like literally say everything, because who knows what's going to happen, you know? Who knows how long I'm going to be around? Who knows how long the internet's going to be around? Hopefully, I'll be around for a long time, but things are really crazy. So I'm just going to try to, that's what the goal is for season 2, is to just put it all out there, you know, I guess as fast as I can. I may have to change strategies how I build episodes or like arc the episodes. But anyways, with White Sands Missile Range, I was going to say I had a family member who would drive trucks out there, and he would deliver argon and different liquid gases to facilities there. And he had been shown a weapon platform by an officer in the 70s that they were firing it into a mountain, and they were firing it through a piece of steel into a mountain, and they were measuring how far this beam would go into the mountain. And it was like a giant apparatus. I'm not really sure how big. He just said it was big, and that then none of it worked until they put a lens into it. And I guess it was some sort of photo concentrating lens or Or even I've heard of similar devices where they had like a capsule that was they called a catalyst that had different things in it. Um, so I don't want to get too in depth with the description, but so I've had some family that has seen some stuff in White Sands, and if that we had lasers in the 70s, basically, is what I'm saying, that could go through steel and into a mountain, and we didn't know how powerful it was. We could have. He said that we possibly shot our own stuff down on accident because we didn't think it would go that far, and it did. So take that for whatever you want to, but if we had lasers in the 70s, that's pretty interesting. But he said as well that they use them for anti-nuclear capabilities, like anti-ICBM, like nuclear missile type of stuff. So pretty interesting. The sophisticated system integrates a fuel cell, electrolyzer, hydrogen storage, battery energy storage, solar panels, and atmospheric water generator, creating a fully self-sustainable power source. Bailey further highlighted the significance of this initiative, stating, demonstrating the capabilities of a hydrogen-fueled nanogrid in a real-time operational environment showcases the potential of renewable energy. Its rugged design and renewable resource establishes a prototype smart energy system that can be utilized across diverse settings. The Environmental's Diverse Conservation Branch at WSMR is devoted to safeguarding local wildlife, and this nanogrid partnership offers valuable insights to the area's ecological dynamics. In particular, it particularly aims to study the behavior of large mammals inhabiting the missile range. Kind of weird. Replacing diesel generators. A sophisticated surveillance system developed by PicoGrid has been integrated into this project to facilitate wildlife monitoring. The system includes a command and control enclosure with a camera, battery, and Starlink connection. The data collected will aid in identifying various wildlife species within the region, potentially mitigating human-wildlife conflicts. So they're looking for wildlife in the region around all of this stuff. You're telling me that with all the sensors that we have in White Sands and Area 51, Groom Lake, yada, 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 all these secret desert facilities that you can just see for miles, and we have crazy advanced sensors. We can't detect wildlife? What is going on out there? What type of wildlife do you guys have that you can't detect with your excessive amounts of sensors? You know, like they're taking satellite photos. They can see like a leaf on the ground with the satellite in that area. It's crazy. Is it really for just normal wildlife, or is there some sort of other wildlife that we don't know? I identified species like an African oryx, javelina, or carnivores such as coyotes and bobcats directly from my office. The Army Research Laboratory Atmospheric Intelligence for Hybrid Power Advancements, ARL AIHPA, what an acronym, team at WSMR conducts vital atmospheric and energy systems research. They seek to explore the integration of various power resources for both tactical missions and disaster relief. The collaboration gives us a unique opportunity to delve into atmospheric effects and the power production process linked to hydrogen fuel cells. There was another guy that worked out there, now that I'm thinking about it, in the desert secret facilities with excessive sensors. A guy named Bob Lazar, who drives around in a hydrogen-powered Porsche. Yeah, something to think about. For like 30 years. And the guy said that, like, it's all about big oil. He said that years ago. It's obvious it's about it, but it's interesting to hear it from the scientists who worked on it. But set to operate for 1 year within WSMR cantonment area. I'm not sure what that means. Home to a plethora of wildlife, the nanogrid will gather critical data and insights regarding the performance of its innovative energy technology. Bailey underscored the importance of this demonstration, noting that traditional diesel generators are often not viable for environmentally sensitive locations. Innovative projects like this nanogrid advocate for on-site energy generation, enhancing resilience and operation capabilities in contested environments. This is like the modus operandi for all of these black sites, all of these underground facilities, all of these space facilities, all of it. It's the same thing. And ocean facilities. I forgot ocean too. In addition to the current installation, the Army plans to develop a second hydrogen-fueled nanogrid at Fort Leonard Wood to showcase mobility and integrate additional features such as electric vehicle charging ports. The future military energy operations looks promising as these advancements pave the way for sustainable and efficient energy solutions. Whew, that was kind of a lot. So I'm not going to read this one. I'm just going to read part of it. FDA issues highest risk level for over 6,000 tubs of protein powder. Controversies around protein powder refuse to stop. A week after finding a study a suggested presence of heavy metals in protein powders, a renowned protein powder called Orgain has issued a voluntary recall of its chocolate-flavored 30-gram plant-based protein, blah, 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 blah. And so I highly recommend you guys, if you have plant-based protein powders, to look at this FDA recall. It is the highest level. It says that there's like cadmium and lead and mercury and peanuts and like, I don't know, everything in there. Like across the board, full on, every alarm's ringing, throw it out. But so you can go and find the UPC and the product lock codes, and there's multiple products. One is just talking about peanuts. So if you, and I love this brand. It actually, as soon as they announced the recall, they put it on sale. So I mean, I can't really blame them for trying to make up profits, but putting 20% off across all vendors while you're in the middle of a recall doesn't look good. But I do get the business need to do so. However, I probably will keep on buying this brand. I don't really see many other brands that are... The flavor is good. I don't know. I'll look for other brands. But if y'all know good brands, email me. Let me know, or comment, or whatever you want to do. If you're on YouTube, you can comment, or you can email me. I'll give my email, inspiredearthpodcast@gmail.com. If you guys have any comments or anything like that, you can email me. I know some people have been doing the Spotify comments thing. I can't reply to that. So if you need me to reply, feel free to email me. So we're going to move on to... breakthrough process turns CO2 and electricity into high-protein food. And this was so cool. Apparently, the Department of Energy is starting to focus on this. So it says, a groundbreaking study in environmental science and ecotechnology introduces an innovative bioprocess that converts carbon dioxide and electricity into cell protein, a sustainable, nutrient-dense food alternative. The system, developed by researchers from Jiaotong University and the Tianjin Institute of Industrial Biotechnology at the Chinese Academy of Sciences, integrates anaerobic and aerobic microbial processes using acetate as a crucial intermediate. Chinese carbon protein? Ban it! Tariff, ban, condemn. How dare they make protein out of carbon, right? The process features two interconnected reactors. The first employs microbial electrosynthesis, MES, to transform CO2 into acetate, while the second uses aerobic bacteria, specifically alkyl genes, to convert acetate into SCP by continuously cycling the medium between these reactors. The researchers achieved a notable cell dry weight of 17.4 grams a liter, with a protein content of 74%, outperforming traditional protein sources such as fish and soybean. Very interesting. The process also minimizes pH adjustment, reduces wastewater generation, and alleviates product inhibition, enhancing both sustainability and efficiency. Efficiency and sustainability advantages. This breakthrough offers a promising solution to global food security and climate challenges by converting CO2 into valuable protein. The SCP produced is rich in essential amino acids, making it an excellent supplement for animal feed and potential candidate for human nutrition. As global food demand increases and global change intensifies, this technology represents a significant step toward a circular carbon economy. That's cool. Turning greenhouse gases into nutritious food while reducing environmental impact. The study underscores the potential of biohybrid systems to revolutionize sustainable food production and address pressing environmental issues. And then, so the article about the DOE, Department of Energy, is behind a paywall. So I was able to get this bit right here from it. Plant production produces carbon. A Michigan State University has won a $1.8 million grant from the U.S. Department of Energy to figure out how to minimize and offset carbon waste from plant protein production as part of a sustainable plant production circular economy. Here we have some more information on that. Dual reactor system converts CO2 to consumable single-cell protein. And we have a picture of what it looks like, their little setup, their reactors. A team of chemical and industrial biotechnical engineers affiliated with the institutions of China developed a dual reactor system that can be used to convert CO2 to a single cell protein. So this is the same thing, but I just wanted to show that it actually had a picture of it, so that's kind of interesting. And here is a PubMed article from 2018 talking about plant-based protein production. And I thought that this was interesting. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to read a couple of sentences. Plant expression platform diversity includes whole plants, suspension cells, hairy roots, moss, duckweed, and microalgae. There are strengths and weaknesses to each platform, which selection often determined by the type of recombinant protein, market, scale, cost, and up and downstream processing constraints of the specific protein product. Within each platform is also a diversity of plant species that can host the protein product. Platform diversity provides flexibility in expressing novel recombinant proteins, enables customizing and meeting scale-up needs, and provides opportunity for oral-based delivery of proteins. However, such diversity also may complicate regulatory compliance, which prefers more uniformity. Here we summarize prospects and challenges associated with each type of plant production platform and production strategy, and where appropriate, comments are provided on important regulatory issues and progress towards commercialization. I am not going to read each one, but I will read each type. And I'm not going to read like the whole thing, but I'll read the type. It's biopolymers, industrial proteins / enzymes, therapeutic proteins, and I guess that's it. So those three. And I will put this one up in the link because it's really interesting. It's going to take a long time to read it all, and it's very technical and a lot of numbers and gibberish. I do think it's interesting, though, before we move on, that they made a table of all of the different species and statistics, just like I had made for the algae to carbon to oxygen farming to reverse the acidification, if you remember that episode. So kind of a pat on the back that I had done a good job on that. So a chance discovery may have finally cracked the antibiotic resistance puzzle. It says it's a 4-minute read. And this is SciTech Daily. So a global team has made a significant advance in understanding how bacterial plasmids contribute to antibiotic resistance. Their findings reveal a complex mechanism involving the proteins Core B and Core A, which could lead to innovative treatments to weaken drug-resistant bacteria. An international team of researchers, notice international, cooperating, most people coming together to solve stuff, imagine that, has made a major breakthrough in understanding how bacteria develop resistance to antibiotics. Bacteria use multiple defense mechanisms to protect themselves from antibiotics, which is a growing public health challenge. One key defense mechanism involves plasmids, a small DNA molecules within bacterial cells. These plasmids have their own genetic material and can carry genes that make bacteria resistant to antibiotics. By uncovering the specific roles plasmids play in bacterial resistance, scientists can develop new treatments aimed at combating drug-resistant infections more effectively. Unveiling the Core B, Core A mechanism. John Eanes Center's researchers and partners used a model plasmid called RK2 that is used globally to study clinically relevant plasmids that transmit antimicrobial resistance. Their initial focus was a molecule called Core B, which is essential for plasmid to survive within their bacterial host. This DNA binding protein was previously known to have played a role in controlling gene expression, but how this happens was unclear. To figure this out, they teamed up with leading experts from Madrid, New York, Birmingham, and the UK. Implications for future therapeutics: using advanced microscopy, the protein crystallography techniques, the research team discovered that Core B interacts with another molecule called Core A. This Core B, Core A regulatory system shuts down bacterial gene expression, Core B acting as DNA sliding clamp, and Core A as a lock that holds Core B in its place. Together, this complex shuts off gene expression to keep the plasmid safe within its bacterial host. The newly discovered mechanism offers a fresh insight into long-range gene silencing in bacteria. This is the phenomenon by which regulatory elements such as the Core B, Core A complex can interact with distant target genes, in this case, switching them off so the plasmid can survive in the bacterial host. First author of the study, Dr. Thomas McLean, a postdoctoral researcher at the John Innes Center, says the discovery is a triumph of curiosity-driven science. Originally, this project set out to focus on Core B. Then a lucky Friday afternoon experiment, which was done purely out of curiosity, brought our focus to the ability of Core A to clamp Core B in the right place at the right time. This was a huge breakthrough that drastically changed the direction of the project. Our study provides a new paradigm for bacterial long-range gene regulation and offers a target for novel therapeutics to destabilize plasmids in their host and resensitize them to antibiotics. The study solves a decade-long conundrum in the field of how the critical protein Core B controls when genes are switched on and off in the multi-drug resistant plasmid K2 bacteria. The research is expanded to include more clinically relevant plasmids to probe further into the Core B, Core A mechanism to see how it disassembles at the correct time. Core B switching from DNA sliding clamp to repressor mediates long-range gene silencing in a multi-drug resistant plasmid in Nature Microbiology. So that's pretty fascinating. They can hopefully come up with a way to change the bacteria to where they will be able to use antibiotics that maybe we had lost in the past. We lose antibiotics because they no longer work and we have to find new ones. But with this, we could change the bacteria to where we could use the old antibiotics. So that's good. This is good news. Very, very good news. U.S. startup to establish first solar-powered data center on the moon in February. Lonar has secured several high-profile customers for their lunar data center named Freedom. Wow, it's called Freedom. I have to take that in for a second. It looks like the Earth's natural satellite will be buzzing with a lot of commercial activity in the coming years. Interestingly, the moon may soon become home to a cutting-edge data center thanks to Florida-based startup Lone Star Data Holdings. Reuters reported that the Lone Star is planning to place the first physical data center. They will utilize SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket to launch a fully assembled data center, most likely next month. The small, fully operational data center will piggyback on Intuitive's Machine's upcoming lunar lander mission. It will be the first physical data center flown off the planet, serving a host of data storage and edge processing customers, each in their own way, expanding the art possible. The Lone Star's lunar data will not run for applications that require immediate access to data. Instead, it prioritizes the secure and long-term preservation of crucial information.